Hi guys, welcome back to the Financial Interest YouTube channel. My name's Dan. So if you're new to the channel, I cover personal finance, stock market investing and also stock analysis as well. So please also check out my Instagram account. I post kind of other content on there as well. So I might also put some outtakes from the videos and that kind of thing as well. So in this week's video, I'm going to cover how to set financial goals. So this will actually be the first time of me publicly setting my own financial goals for next year, because I've only been running the channel for around 2 months now. So it's kind of going to be an interesting journey to see how that pans out as we go into next year. So what are your financial goals for 2021? I'd be really interested to hear about them. So please leave them in the comments and obviously I'll get back to you as well. So why is goal setting important? So goals provide kind of clarity and also give you motivation to work towards something. So think about when you achieve something. Obviously, once you kind of hit that end goal, then obviously that gives you like a great feeling of satisfaction and kind of achievement as well. So this also helps with keeping you motivated as you work towards your goals. And it's important with goal setting that you have a framework to kind of understand the goals, and so it's kind of like easy to follow as well, and that you can actually achieve your goal. So we're going to go and look at SMART goals in a few minutes, which is kind of a well-known way of doing goal setting. So just to give you a few ideas, I'm going to put some kind of generic financial goals up on the screen as well, so you can see those. Some of these goals I'll be working on as well for this year. So let's have a look at those now. So I've got one: reduce spending on eating out, build an emergency fund, pay off mortgage, invest 10% of my income each month in the stock market, generate enough passive income to pay off my living expenses, purchase investment properties, and also start my own business eventually as well. So this should help you get ideas to kind of come up with financial goals of your own. I'll also put a link just on the screen now to my own personal finance tips. So you should see that. So go and also check out that video, because that might help you as well with some ideas for this. You'll also notice that some of these goals might be kind of short-term goals. So it might be quite easy to achieve spending less on eating out and grocery shopping. That could be something you could kind of action immediately. And then you might also have more long-term goals. So obviously a long-term goal might be paying off your mortgage or starting your own business. And when I say long-term, I'm thinking more the kind of 5 to 10 year term, somewhere around that. So that's what I'm thinking of when I'm talking about a more long-term goal. So most of you, I'm sure, have heard of SMART goals. We'll take a look now at the acronym on the screen as well. So we've got specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So when we say specific, it should be kind of unambiguous. You should be able to give like a precise target, like I will save $1,000 or something like that within 2 months, because then that gives you, it's very specific. It doesn't leave anything to interpretation, and you can kind of know and understand that quite easily. And measurable, we want to be able to put like a numerical or a financial value on it, so we can actually track it and measure it as we go along. The next one is the goal should be achievable. So you want to be setting goals that's kind of that you have the skills or the abilities to actually achieve. Like for myself, I'm not going to kind of say I'm going to win the 100 meters at the Olympics, because for a start, I'm a slow runner and I'm old, and this is just not a realistic goal. That is never going to happen. So you have to kind of look at your abilities and know that you can achieve this within your skill set as well. And you need to be realistic with your goal, that you can achieve this goal within the kind of given time period that you set for the goal. And obviously going on to the next point is the actual time period. You need to give a specific time. Maybe that's, in this case of the video, this will be financial goals that I want to achieve in 2021. So that's very clear. I've got kind of 12 months to do this, and then I will kind of periodically review it as I go on, probably every month for the different goals that I'm looking at. So I'll go on to my goals in a second. So we can see on the screen, the first one is save for an emergency fund. So this is one of my really big targets for 2021. But having looked at the SMART goals just before, this doesn't kind of fit in with any of the SMART goals. This just says, I will build an emergency fund. So that doesn't give me any kind of specific details on it. So with that kind of goal, it's a bit too open-ended. It doesn't give me an amount I need to save. It doesn't give me a time frame for that either. So now we'll go and look at what it actually should say. So here we can see the goal is the emergency fund, but now instead of the previous slide where I'm saying I'm going to save for an emergency fund, now I'm saying by the end of 2021 I will save $12,000 to have an emergency fund of 3 months worth of expenses. So there you can see I'm being specific with the amount and specific with the time period. So for this goal, I've kind of taken a look over my finances as well. I've looked at kind of my monthly bills, so like my rent in the UAE, the cost for the loan or mortgage on the house in the Philippines, otherwise expenses such as internet, like water, electric, car loan, groceries. I've kind of taken all of this amount and figured out that normally this is costing around $4,000 a month. So this is the amount I need to have for 1 month. So obviously working up to 3 months, then I need to save $12,000. Now I know that this is realistic based on the amount of kind of disposable income that I have every month. So looking at that, this is probably kind of falling within a 10 to 12 month time horizon, but it's definitely within the kind of realms of possibility. It's definitely like a goal that will take a little bit of effort, but I can definitely achieve by the end of the year. And going on to my next goal, this has been one of the goals that I've been thinking about over the past few months. So currently I just have my job. That's my only source of income at the moment. So with all of the pandemic happening, that kind of made me realize, okay, this is a bit risky and I should also try and kind of diversify my income a bit. So I've had to think about a few different possibilities for income streams that I could actually work on. So for this goal, I'm trying to build 3 additional income streams in 2021. So for me, I've had to think about different ways I could build additional kind of streams of income. Like one would be to rent out our house in the Philippines. Now, knowing where I am with that situation at the moment, that's probably not a realistic goal for this year because we need to spend a bit of money on the house to kind of get it into a situation where it would be kind of suitable for rent. So that's probably a slightly more short to medium term, but I wouldn't have thought that this would happen next year. Another option here would be affiliate marketing. So often you'll see people who've got products, they might have linked them on their YouTube video or blog or something like that. That might be, for example, if you're doing a demo of a camera, you might also put the link to the camera in the description, and then if someone clicks on that affiliate link, which goes to, say for example, Amazon, and they buy something during a kind of 24-hour period through your link, your unique link on that site, then you will get like a small amount of commission for that. So that's quite easy to do. Obviously that works better in certain kind of channels, but that's certainly something I can look at as well. Another possible source of income is from an options trading strategy that I've been working on. So I've been backtesting this strategy for the last, with paper trading for the last kind of, the data goes back to about 2010. So I've got 10 years of data. That looks like it's kind of making solid returns on paper. So all I need to do now is start forward testing that, and that's a trade I could place every month. I mean, this might only be $20 to $50 at first, but it's something that I could actually scale up over time. So that's another good option for another source of income there. You could also look at paid products. So a lot of people in the finance space, they might have created courses or things like that, which is like to help people out, and then they can sell their online courses. Once again, that's another thing that's probably like a lot further down the line for me, so I don't think it's a realistic possibility for next year, but it's just one to bear in mind in the more long term. Another option here could also be stock dividends. I didn't want to put that as actually like one, because I could easily just buy a stock that pays dividends and say, oh great, I'm making passive income. So I plan to reinvest all dividends anyway to kind of grow the portfolio larger. So I'm not really going to count that one. And the same with YouTube. Obviously, this is new in the journey. I'm not even thinking about the kind of point of getting to monetization in YouTube, because it's just too far away. All I'm focusing on with the channel is to try and keep bringing good content every week and improve that, because that's something that's actually within my control as well. So I just wanted to kind of put a list of a few steps which we've sort of gone through here, but I think this is quite kind of important to share. So first we need to make a list of the goals. I gave you an example of that a little bit earlier in the video. And obviously you need to know your income and expenses each month to actually be able to look at that and set your goals as well. So budgeting is kind of an important part of that. So I definitely kind of wanted to keep that step in there as well. And I'd say just pick a couple of goals to focus your energy on. You don't want to become overwhelmed by having too many goals. So keep the kind of goals to a few simple things. Perhaps you need to kind of clear off all your debt. That's kind of what I've just done this year. So that's a good one to focus on as well. It's kind of quite a clear target. You can figure out your debt, check how much you need to pay off each month, and then just track that on a month-by-month basis. And then you need to make sure that these goals are SMART goals, as we've kind of just mentioned earlier. So make sure that they're like specific targets, specific amount of money, specific time frames, and then also you can track that as you go along to make any adjustments. So maybe one month you couldn't save as much as you wanted to because you had to pay for something unexpected. So you kind of need to see if you can then save up the extra amount you've lost out on, or maybe there is a bit of buffer within the amount that you need to achieve, which is kind of something similar to what I mentioned earlier, saying that I would reckon I could save the emergency fund in around 10 months. So that kind of gives me those 2-month buffer to still achieve the goal by the end of next year. And you should always monitor the progress on a weekly or monthly basis, just so you can make any necessary adjustments to stay on track. And then obviously once you get to the end of the year, you need to kind of review how did everything go? Did you achieve what you set out to? And if not, what were the kind of stumbling blocks that you came across there? Now, a really good way to do that is sort of journal as you're going along, just so you can kind of keep track of what came along and did you manage to overcome that, or did you have to kind of reassess your goals and then maybe kind of push them back to the following year as well. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Also, if you aren't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out so that I can kind of constantly improve and try and grow this to more people. So here's to a great 2021, and let's hope we all hit our financial goals.